Unk is getting his booty hole ate.
And I gave her some.
Y'all know I love you because I don't want to read these, man. Hold on, there's an ambulance. Hope they're okay, whoever that is. What's going on, gang? Now, before you say anything, yes, I do sound cooler. I am under the weather. So I apologize if, you know, the energy's not all the way there, but it's also been a very long time. At least it feels that way. Honestly, I think it's been like maybe 2 weeks since I dropped a video, but I had school stuff to wrap up. So, you know, semester's over. I'm gonna be creating all summer, thankfully. Camera's on the way. Good things are happening. Making moves. But I wanted to get this video out before it became the topic became too irrelevant.
Is this nigga serious?
To speak about. So yeah, I mean, between my voice and, you know, the 2-strand twist, I kind of look and sound like a, maybe not sound, but feel like light skinned Big X to plug. Hey.
This is a sick Negro.
Alright, anyway, all that out the way. Thank you to everyone who's been showing love to the content, continuously asking. Shout out to my best friend, Lenny. He dead ass hit me up and was like, yo, where the videos at? And I'm like, I got people who care, which is a wonderful thing to, you know, have. So appreciate you, bro. Appreciate everyone who's been liking and commenting. Please continue to do that, as well as subscribe to the channel, please. Now, let's get into Unk, who may hold the crown for most freaky ass nigga. And I said this in my previous video when I made the video on Fox, and then I did another video too, and I will continue to say it. I think that I need to stay broke, because the more you find between, now Unk is not on the same level as the diddler. That I would never say anything like that. But between Unk and the diddler and all these execs that you hear about, like, I feel like if your net worth crosses a certain threshold, like sexually, you just become a deviant. And I'm waiting on someone to kind of like prove me wrong, change my mind type stuff, because what we're gonna get into, it makes almost no sense. So anyway, also appreciate everyone for participating in the poll, right? Because it was between this video and then another video about R&B niggas who needs to be stopped that I'm gonna be doing, but you voted for this, so you're getting this first. If you just read the headlines, it's not looking good for him. I'm gonna be honest, it's not a good look. A lot of accusations of R-wording and grooming. Well, not grooming, because the young lady was grown, but it's like a 30-year age gap, and yeah, it's not a good look, right? But when you take context into consideration, then it becomes a little less murky, scary, you know, whatever you want to call it, and way more ridiculous, if I'm being quite honest with you. So if you didn't know, Unk has some very serious accusations of SA and the R word. These cases were brought forth by Gabrielle Zuniga. Crazy name, given the context. Gabrielle Zuniga. And Michelle Bundy Evans also is a young lady who brought up some allegations recently. Both are former partners of Shannon Sharpe. and both are bringing up civil suits instead. In that this leads me into like my first point, instead of criminal cases, right? Now, there's a reason that I'm talking about this with such levity, and I don't seem to be like putting down Unc just yet. It's because, if I'm being quite frank, I'm very skeptical about the conditions of all of this, and we'll get into why. But you know, if new evidence comes out and, you know, Unc is damn near, you know, proven guilty, or he's guilty of these things, then I will happily apologize and kind of update everyone. But excuse me, as it stands, I'm just it seems a little fishy. So the difference being between a civil suit and a criminal suit, right? Civil suits resolve disputes between individuals, and this is the legal definition, I looked this up. Civil suits resolve disputes between individuals or entities seeking compensation or other remedies, while criminal suits address violation of criminal laws and aim to punish offenders. That is very important, right? The reason I bring up the distinction is because these women are seeking monetary compensation and not criminal charges. Now, I'm not a woman, but if I was in that situation, I would want a bag and jail time. If someone had done this to me and I was able to prove my case, like, I would want yes, I would want monetary compensation, but I also would want someone to just like, you're gonna have to pay, like, not literally, like, you gotta go to jail. Both women are alleging that these events happened in 2024 in California. And again, I did some research just to make sure that this is lining up the way I think it is, right? In Nevada, there's a 4-year statute of limitations for SA and, you know, actual crimes, meaning that in addition to the civil lawsuit, there is no reason for them not to file a criminal case because they're well within the statute of limitations. There's nothing stopping them from pursuing a criminal case against Shannon Sharpe, if what they're alleging is true. Now, illegal, I hear you say. What are they even talking about, bro? I got you. Just hold on to your butt, because this is where it gets insane and a little bit cringy.
Stop the cap.
Actually, no, a lot of it cringy.
Correct.
First, Gabrielle Zuniga. I'm joking. Gabrielle Zuniga is a 20-something-year-old OF model who alleges she met Shannon Sharpe at a gym that they both worked out at in January of 2023. In the court documents, it is alleged that after they met at the gym in Los Angeles in 2023, January 2023, the former tight end relentlessly pursued her. She was in the legal filings, she was named as Jane Doe, but Shannon has since outed her name and everything just to, I guess, even the playing field. He also released some other things that we'll get into a little later that are pretty damn cringe. So, Doe, who was 20 years old at the time, alleged that Sharpe called and texted her demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion, according to the lawsuit, which was filed in Nevada on Sunday. So, just to make this make sense, Shannon Sharpe moved from LA to Nevada, and she moved with him, right? That's the timeline that we're getting here. So basically, she's saying, like, I had no choice. I had to say, like, he pursued me relentlessly, and he eventually broke me down, and I said yes. But then she followed him when he moved from state to state. Keep that in the back of your mind. The woman revealed in court records that she and Shannon were eventually involved in a consensual relationship, The filing obtained by the U.S. Sun read. That's my source, by the way. However, the plaintiff alleges suffering from controlling and verbal abuse. He demanded, this, and I quote, he demanded complete control over her time and body. Expected her to be at his house on his schedule at his command whenever he called. Unquote. Okay. In one encounter, Joe alleged that she was terrified after getting into an argument with Shannon Sharpe, who was 56 at the time. So there's 36-year age gap. 36-year age gap between the two of them.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
It is alleged he was yelling at her with a firearm visible in the room. He wasn't holding it. It was just laying around somewhere. So you can kind of see what's already happening here. The plaintiff alleged after he noticed she tried sharing her location with her friends from her iPhone. Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the back of her neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing you, unquote, the lawsuit reads. Despite the alleged violent incident, Doe and Sharpe continued their relationship, but the plaintiff attempted to break things off with the former tight end after he embarrassingly went on Instagram Live while engaging in. And y'all, I don't know if you've seen the clip or heard the audio, but Unc was getting it. According to Shannon Sharpe, he threw his phone on the bed and accidentally went on Instagram Live, and you can hear him clapping cheeks and growling and saying the name of a young lady by the name of Michelle, I believe.
Posted on this IG, beware. Shannon Sharpe 84 Instagram was hacked this morning. My team and I are working vigorously to figure this out.
I mean, hey, I wish I could, be. If someone told me that I'd be getting it in at 56 like that, I welcome it happily. Anyway, I digress. In the live stream, we're going back to the court case. In the live stream, which occurred last September, Sharpe's 3.3 million followers could hear moans and other sexual comments from the video. Yes, we very much could. Sharpe, who initially claimed his account had been hacked, admitted that the noises heard were indeed him having intimate relations. Jane Doe, aka Gabrielle Zuniga, claims in her lawsuit that after the infamous incident, she tried to break things off with Sharpe, which she alleged led to him R-wording her. So, up until this point, just to recap, they met at a gym. She claims that he aggressively pursued her. They eventually got into an actual consensual relationship, but not like a relationship, like boyfriend and girlfriend. They have an arrangement, an entanglement, if you will. But she sees it a different way, and then attempted to break things off when she found out that he was sexually involved with other people. Which, I mean, I don't know how you can. Actually, no, I'm lying. It is what it is. I'm not here to go down that rabbit hole. Either way, so she alleges that he got violent with her, but she still followed him around and stayed in a relationship even when he moved to Nevada, which is right next to California. But still, it just isn't making sense. And then of course we have the crescendo of all these breadcrumbs in the form of an R word, right? In October 2024, Doe claimed the former Denver Broncos star forced himself on her in her apartment as she cried and sobbed. The second violent incident allegedly occurred in January of this year, where Doe claimed Sharpe came to her house with promises of delivering... Wait, how did it happen in January? With promises of delivering Christmas and birthday gifts for her. So she was cool after all these incidences of him being quote unquote violent. She was cool with him giving her gifts, like coming to her crib and giving her gifts. That doesn't really make sense to me. However, Sharpe allegedly assaulted her again. And this is a quote from her. A woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man. Excuse me. Let me try that again. A woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no even once, that no means no, the suit reads. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he is. Wow, is a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to bruise, choke, and violently slap, Sharpe refused to accept no and R-worded plaintiffs. Now that you have like a full like backstory or part of like what the lawsuit is alleging, again, if this is actually true, that's awful, and Shannon Sharpe deserves to be put in jail for that, because that's unacceptable. It's just, if you were super duper like, if look, man, I don't want to talk to people who cut me off. Why do I always go back to traffic? Because listen, man, like if we have like a bad night out or I get a bad vibe from you, I don't want to talk to you then. Like, there's no way you're going to do what is alleged here, and I'm going to allow you to come over to my crib and give me gifts. I don't care what kind of gifts they are. I don't want to see you again, ever. So that's like a huge red flag. Anyway, so here's what the demands are as a result of all these alleged actions. So it turns out that Miss Zuniga was offered $10 million to settle before the lawsuit was filed. Why is this relevant? Doesn't that make Unc look bad? Doesn't that make him look very, very guilty? Well, it would be pretty damn awful, except for one thing. Shannon Sharpe is up for contract negotiations for his podcast, and he's received multiple offers and is expected to sign a deal worth $100 million. 100 M's. Now, this lawsuit makes him look awful and completely decimates his negotiating power when he comes to these networks and negotiates his new contract. Right? He's already had to step away, quote unquote, from ESPN. Like, he was on there regularly, but he hasn't been on since this stuff has come to light. Now, my question to you is, if you were up to make $100 million and all you had to do was agree to pay 10 mil of that and you're good, would you do it? Like, would you agree to pay $10 million if you knew that you had $100 million coming your way, so long as nothing fishy was going on? Like, I know for me, the answer is no, because I'm petty. I'm petty as fuck. I have a doctorate in petiology from the Lico School of fuck you. But the more I think about it, the more most people would, because it's just simple math, right? The more I think about it, the average person and most people would take that deal. Ms. Zuniga is seeking $50 million in damages. So half of what would be his upcoming contract, which is why she turned down 10, because she could get 5 times that.
I think not.
She thinks, anyway. I don't know how this is all going to play out. Okay, and now we get to the craziest part.
Oh shit.
The messages. Oh man. All right, this is absolutely insane. But Shannon Sharpe's team released text messages between himself and Miss Zuniga to illustrate the nature of their relationship. And they are something.
I beg your pardon?
I'm giving you a full Freaky Frog warning right now. If you're not trying to hear some kiki shit, skip ahead in the video. I don't have a timestamp just yet, but just skip ahead. This is your freaky ass nigga warning, man. If you don't want to hear about 56-year-old Shannon Sharpe trying to, do all these crazy things to this 20-something-year-old white girl, by all means, skip ahead in this video. So the messages read as follows. Mind you, these text messages are from January of this year, and they're 44 pages of messages, but here are the highlights. No. Wait. Oh boy. Wait. Quote. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're f***ing me. That's a text from Gabby to Shannon Sharpe. I know you miss this big juicy ass. $25K for each cheek. She's asking him to pay to hit. $50K for the whole booty. I have to get that on Klarna or something. Goodness gracious. She also says, quote, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then you can do whatever you want to me. That's November. I want to put my tongue in your ass and then marry you.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
No, man. Unc is getting his booty hole ate.
And I gave her some.
Y'all know I love you because I don't want to read these, man. That's my daddy. I want you to put a big black baby in me. Oh my God!
Oh, no. 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 I'll do something.
And this is where time out. This is where you lose me, all right? Because I'm not here to king shame, but like, what the big black baby, bro?
What the hell is even that?
Like, this is why Unc needs to rewatch Get Out, because this ain't right. I don't understand how you can read this and then trust the person that you're supposed to be getting super duper vulnerable with. I can't see it, man. If a woman ever came out of her mouth to say something like that to me, bro, like, I'm getting a restraining order. Ain't no.
Now, sink into the floor. Wait. Sink. Now you're in the sunken place.
You better crave it, because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. I need an adult after reading that, dog.
I am an adult.
Like, I thought I was a freakazoid. Hell no. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then you could do whatever you want to me. I literally ate so much food, I look like I'm pregnant with your big black baby. And here's a savage ass response. If I still fuck with you around my birthday in 24, you can IUD out. And then she's like, LOL, you're stuck with me for life. You're not going anywhere, babe. Like, nah, hold on. There's gotta be more. I feel like I'm missing some. Here we go. Here's some more. Goodness gracious. She sent him a picture of like a BDSM woman tied up. And she said, I want you to tie me up like this and he's like, if I knew how, I would. Man's gotta take freaking Boy Scout lessons so he could tie a proper knot. And then she's like, it's okay, I have handcuffs. We can stick to those for now. She said, that just got my pussy. Tie me up and do bad things to me. And Unc was like, cuff up. She's like, you still have those handcuffs? I want like some hardcore BDSM action though. Feeling kind of freaky lately. I want to be abused, daddy. No, man, this ain't cool.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, bro.
I've always wanted a black baby. Oh my god, no.
Ain't no way,
no.
No. Ain't no way, boy.
No. No.
Way, boy.
No. Hell no. I always wanted a black baby. That's weird as fuck. No. Unc, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, bro. The ancestors are not proud of this one. Like, why is a black baby supposed to be bigger, bro? That's weird. Unc is freaked out, and I don't know if I can ever look at him the same way again. Oh snap! BBB, no, it's Triple B's is no longer Big Baller Brand. That's Big Black Baby. Big Black Baby Gang, bro. But anywho, in addition to this assault to my vision, having read those, apparently there's also a tape of these two floating around. Shannon Sharpe is anticipating that her and her legal team will release it. It was supposedly recorded without his consent. There's also audio of the two of them talking on the phone, which has been heavily edited, which I will play now.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Like I said, that's heavily edited, and it doesn't really move the needle to one side or the other. It's supposed to make Shannon Sharpe look bad, but anything out of context can make someone look bad. But here is the reason that the biggest reason why I'm not taking this whole thing seriously. Tony Busby is representing this young lady in court. Now, Tony Busby is famous for representing the woman who sued Deshaun Watson and more recently Jay-Z. Also did the Diddler, but everything that he's accused of, I think he did. So, but Jay-Z for an alleged incident in 2000. Right? Real quick, a Jane Doe sued Jay-Z in civil court and alleged that an incident occurred in 2000 where she was essayed in New York. It was so bad that the plaintiff's father said that it never even happened. And Jay-Z has since filed grievances against Tony Busby. Tony Busby dropped the lawsuit, and it was 12 of them. So immediately after Jay-Z claps back at Tony Busby for these false accusations, Tony Busby drops all 12 lawsuits immediately, and people okay, so after Busby drops his lawsuits, there is a rumor going around that I can't necessarily confirm, but I kind of believe that Busby has actually been disbarred from practicing law in New York. Like, it's a known issue, but whether he's actually been disbarred or suspended or whatever the case is still up in the air, right? But Jay-Z is also suing Tony Busby for defamation now because of all this. So because of Tony Busby being her legal representation, I have a lot of questions, right? In addition to that, Tony Busby's own clients are actually suing him. A woman who was represented by Busby in the Diddler case is suing Busby for these alleged offenses include legal malpractice, assault, and fraud, among other charges. The Jane Doe who's in the Diddler case says she was deprived of an adequate settlement reward due to Busby's unethical conduct, claiming he neglected his client's legal rights in her divorce proceedings to protect himself. Another client of Busby is also suing him as well, Jose Bermudez, over settlement funds. So allegedly Tony Busby is also like keeping the money that he's been getting for people off these lawsuits. Take that for what you will. Busby claims he was charged. Jose claims he was charged excessive interest by Busby's law firm and received significantly less than the total settlement amount. The lawsuit suggests a pattern of such behavior by Busby toward vulnerable clients. So yeah, Tony Busby's pretty shiesty, and for that reason, I don't really trust anything that he brings up, or I don't trust any suits that he brings to the court. So yeah, I mean, Unc has to hold an L for being hypocritical because he went after Donnell Rawlings on his Club Shay Shay podcast for dealing with someone who's significantly younger than him.
Why you didn't date her mom? Why you go for the Donnell?
I didn't date her mom because why didn't I date her mom?
Yeah, good question.
No, wait.
I'm asking the question.
No, because
that's ain't the Donnell Rawlings show.
Love is love.
If you don't,
love is love.
I agree with you.
What?
You like them young, though.
Say Drake, I heard you. Nope. Don't do that. I don't like them. I don't like them young. I like what I love. I didn't groom nobody, son. It is what it is. But I can't date nobody my age and get what I wanted. What I look like getting a 48-year-old bitch pregnant.
It's possible.
It could have happened, but I ain't want them odds.
Hold on, she was on Bad Girls Club?
Yes.
You like bad girls?
I made her a good girl. Nigga, ask me another question.
You like toxic.
I was going through a transition in my life, and if somebody made me feel good about myself, that I knew in the future I was gonna have a beautiful son, that you was gonna try to ruin the relationship I had with him by talking about did he see you between Diddy legs. I saw the future of this show before we even goddamn did it. All right? And I didn't break no laws. I didn't do. Yes, she's a lot younger than me. But that's what it was. I gave my opportunity. I gave myself an opportunity. Why you hating on me?
Where y'all meet at? Forever 21?
Yo, y'all ain't gotta laugh down hard, son. You know what?
I'm just trying to figure out that. I mean, where you meet a 23-year-old at? Because I mean, hey, 23, I think I'm a couple of years older than you. I go 33. So I just need to know. 23, 33, they're probably in the same area. Maybe we can hang out.
I'm not with you. I'm not hanging with you. Okay. What I want to say, there was a part of my life where someone gave me a certain energy that I needed. And they expressed to me, I wasn't out there on no playgrounds.
Yeah.
I didn't have R. Kelly in the background. And they expressed to me that and this is how they get you. I like older men. Bing, 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 bing,
right.
bing.
You like younger women.
It's an evil world we live in. But hey, I'm gonna keep living and loving life. I love my fans the most.
Unc also has to hold an L for being 50-something years old and dealing with a 20-something-year-old money-hungry, clout-chasing demon who's into race play. And the whole thing just doesn't seem right. I don't believe this is what they say it is about. I think that they're slowly trying to paint this narrative because of the race play that exists between the two of them. I honestly think that they're trying to paint Shannon Sharpe as a very aggressive black man who's physically imposing and all of these things, controlling. But I mean, yeah, he's going to be physically imposing. Unc is like what, 6'4"? How tall is Unc? How tall is he? 6'2". 6'2". Yep. So Unc is 6'2". What, 230? Like, yeah, he's all muscle, bro.
Now, Bright Boy, I will admit you are pretty clever.
There's racially charged wording throughout this, which is just gross. Again, coming off the back of this woman wanting a big black baby, which it seems like he was cool with in a context, but now, you know, this person thinks this way all the time, and now it's coming back to bite you in the ass. So you're gonna have to hold an L for that one, Unc. But it doesn't sit right. Doesn't really make a lot of sense when brought up to scrutiny. Yeah, they're just trying to paint him as the stereotypical angry, physically imposing, aggressive black dude, and that doesn't really work. But I don't know. Even if he was an aggressive, physically imposing black dude, who the hell else is going to put a big black baby in you? Exactly. I'm out.
Y'all be thinking what y'all dig sometimes. Why does that overshadow logic?
That's why I be beating it. I be beating it.
You are thirsty.
These hoes can't get to you if you already beat your shit. I be beating